Okay, welcome to video number 3 for Ideal Desktop. We're going to actually create some records and associations here. I'm going to start out with contacts. I'm going to go ahead and create a new contact. I'm going to enter in my own name, and I'll quickly type in at least the first line of my address. Derby Street, West Hollywood. And one of the things I want to mention here quickly is that since this is a web-based interface, it's very important that you update your contacts frequently, that you don't forget about this. Once you leave this page and come back without updating, this information will be gone as soon as the page refreshes. You'll see up here that we created a new record, and there is a new record in the database. It has a creation date and ID number. There's no name because that hasn't been updated yet. So watch what happens once we click update. Voila. Christopher Bogusch is now in the database, and this record is permanently installed there until I delete it. Just remember that it won't be if you haven't updated the record first. So it's very important to think about that frequently. I'm going to go ahead and type in an email address here just for kicks. Oops. And scroll down to the bottom. Let's see this. We've got a website here. And we're going to go ahead and update that record. So now I've got some information here, and that's saved, and it's in the database permanently until I decide to delete it. So we've created a new record under contacts. Let's go ahead and let's look at contacts, and there I am. I've appeared right here. I could search under my last name, for example, and find that contact, and there it would be. Highlight that. So what do we do with that? Let's talk a little bit about how we might want to associate this record. I'm going to go over to groups, and I've been just really fascinated with Jerry Mathers and Leave It to Beaver, and the guy's going to turn, I believe, 62 this year. So I've created a fake birthday party for Beaver Cleaver, and I'm going to go ahead and look at this information. I've got this group, Beaver Cleaver's 62nd birthday party, and hey, we're going to try to organize some stuff. I've got another listing for a to-do list, but right here I can see that we have an invitation list under notes. As I've been thinking about this, I've been thinking about where we might throw the dinner party, what kind of guests might arrive, who we shouldn't invite. There might be some people that Beaver doesn't want to see there, and we're going to go to the invitation list, and we can see that we already have a lot of Beaver Cleaver's friends there already. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add myself to the list. So I'm going to click this button, and you're going to see that I'm going to drag down this window that just popped open. Just drag that into view here, and you'll see that the same list is here on the left hand pane in this purple box as is down here. Basically this is almost like a little sub window, and I can move that around, and I can hop back and forth if I wanted to. I just have to remember where my browser windows are. And over here I've got two ways of adding a new listing to this list, or a new record to this list. I could create a new contact right from here, which would be very similar to what I just did to create the Christopher Bogusch record. But since I just did that earlier, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look for my own name. There it is, Christopher Bogusch. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, and I'm going to hit the plus sign, and there I've been added to the list. Now I don't see it over here just yet, and there are a couple of different ways that can happen. When I update this main page here, you're going to see that my name has appeared over on this side. Or I could have flipped back to this window and after closing this window, and the next time I would have saved the changes or updated that record, I would have seen Christopher Bogusch had been added to the invitation list. I could add more contacts to that note just by flipping here, or I could just go ahead and close that window out. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to close it out. So, so there you have it. That's how you might add somebody to the list. Let's go ahead and look at these groups again. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to that original group for Beaver's 62nd birthday party. I'm going to look at the do not invite list. Oh my gosh, Penny Woods. Do you remember her? She was difficult with Beaver, and I think they had a challenged relationship in the show, and I think just over the years, he doesn't want to see her again. And in fact, that's why she's been added to this do not invite list. Sometimes, we could have just dropped her from the contacts altogether, but then we wouldn't know not to invite her. So sometimes it's good to go ahead and keep some of these contacts and some of these records that are really no longer relevant, but there may be some reason in the future that you want to know a little bit about the history that's there. So Penny Woods has been associated with the do not invite list, and she will not be invited to Beaver's birthday party. So you get an idea of how these associations go. If I wanted to look at, let's say, Christopher Bogish again, this record's pretty dull right now. You can see that I'm added to the invitation list. I'm going to be going to Beaver's party, but you know what? I want to remind myself that I need to pick up a gift for Beaver. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to think about maybe creating a new note about this particular event. I'm on the invitation list. I don't have an existing note surrounding the birthday gift because I just thought of this. So right here in this window, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new note, and I'm going to associate it with myself because I need to do this. This is something that I need to take care of, and I need to pick out a gift for the party. What party? Who knows? I mean, right now it really is for Beaver's party, but in my mind, I'm just like, today I'm just thinking about picking up a gift for the party. I don't know, maybe some aromatherapy products. Aromatherapy products. There's a company called Good Witches Brew. And so I'm going to just think about that as a gift for the Beav. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this associated note, and I'm going to close that window. So pick out a gift for the party. That's associated with me, and I'm associated with this invitation list. And go ahead, go to that note. And now it's just dawning on me, that's kind of silly the way I wrote that. Pick out a gift for the party. I'm going to go ahead and think about a little bit more about how to make that more descriptive, so I don't look at that a few days from now and wonder what party, because that's just the type of thing that I would do. So I'm going to go ahead and I realize that Beaver Cleaver, it has something to do with Beaver Cleaver, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at these groups that we had already created. I remember, oh yeah, Beaver Cleaver's 62nd birthday party, that's what it was about. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that, I'm going to associate that in, and I'm going to update the main page. Now when I look at that note, I've kind of organically created enough information that's tied in that I know what it's associated with. I didn't have to be all that specific about that note the first time around. I can pick it up a little bit later on if need be, and I can keep adding information to it. Now, if I click on that, I can see that pick out a gift for the party, that's added to my list, and it's all about Beaver, and here we are. So that's part of how this works. Now, when is the actual party, I wonder? Is there any information on that? Let's see, dinner at Smitty's. There's a list. Well, there's a date associated with that. I wonder, oh my gosh, look up here. Your current schedule events. Well, we've got a date here for this note, for this event, and lo and behold, it is actually in this drop-down list. So I can see stuff that's coming up in the future pretty quickly from this drop-down list and kind of keep an eye on it, keep an eye on when things are approaching. So that's how this works. You can add and subtract these records at will. Let's see, I've got something in here that is no longer relevant. Oh yes, I saw this test document a little while ago. I don't really need this anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete that group, and it no longer appears in those records. If I wanted to subtract Let's go back to Beaver's invite list. Invitation list. Well, maybe I've discovered that one of these people, I don't want to think anything, bad has happened. Let's just say that, this gentleman, I realize that this person has moved to Europe. There's no way he's coming for the party. It just isn't going to happen. So I can go ahead and I can remove that associated contact from the invite list. We're no need to invite that person. I'm not necessarily going to delete the record entirely, but that's just something that we can do here. We can add the records and we can subtract records and associations. So even though this may look a little bit confusing and a little bit complex right now, the idea is that you're going to stumble upon your relationships as you build your database and as you use it over time. And again, the whole idea behind Ideal Desktop is to be a very flexible and forgiving tool this way. So go ahead, create a free trial account for yourself, take a look at the database. It'll have similar records to this in it already, just to kind of seed you and get you started, and just have fun with it. And if you have any questions, give us a call at idealdesktop.com. Thank you.